Hey, it's Jacqueline Hill Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of my show. All right, so I want to tell you guys about this message I got the other day on Messenger. This woman. Oh, before I even get started with that, let me just preface this by saying I am Jacqueline Hill Bennett. I have Alopecia Universalis, which means I have no hair on my body whatsoever. I lost my hair when I was 12 years old, and I have been living with Alopecia Universalis ever since. That said, let me go ahead and tell a story. So when I started this channel, the purpose of the channel was to educate the public about Alopecia Universalis and also to show other women who are living with Alopecia Universalis that even though you have this condition, life can be good. So this woman, she emailed me because she was so annoyed with this one video I made in which I talked about how I'm no longer interested in finding a cure for Alopecia Universalis, for myself anyway. Of course I would like to see a cure for it, but I'm not interested in hair regrowth. I'm just not. I think in that video I even said that I don't think any of those hair regrowth things work, and that pissed her off. She was like so mad about that. Like, she was like, excuse me, I'm gonna find a way to regrow my hair. You're so phony. You always act like life is so great, as if you've never felt sadness before. Meanwhile, there's women like me who just lost their hair, who are really like looking for someone to identify with, and you're just not it. You're just not it. And she was basically telling me that the reason why my channel hasn't grown is because I am out of touch with the typical Alopecia Universalis patient or person, right? So anyway, I read the message, and I was at first upset, and then after a bit, like, I thought about it and I was like, she's right. I never really discussed that part of alopecia, and I apologize. It's just not something that I like to talk about, right? But if you guys want to hear it, I lost my hair when I was 12 and I was bullied like crazy. I had kick me signs put on my back. I had kids yank my wig off in the middle of the hallway at junior high school. I mean, I was in the 7th grade losing my hair, and I did this in front of everyone, and it was really, really hard, really, really devastating. It took a huge toll on my self-worth, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's just not something I choose to talk about. But what this woman doesn't know is that I had spent plenty of years trying to regrow my hair before I became the person I am today, who doesn't care about hair regrowth anymore. I tried paleo diets. I've tried gluten-free diets. I've tried drugs. I've tried topical treatments. I've tried all that stuff, and it doesn't work. So, like, what's the point of moving forward with that? But that's not even really what I want to talk to you guys about. What I really want to talk about is how I've chosen to deal with my sadness and my depression, which I do have as a result of my hair loss. Okay, so how I chose to deal with it and why. When I was like 13 or 14 years old, I started to see a therapist. This therapist was supposed to help me cope with my sadness, which I was dealing with at that time. And I saw her 2 times for 45 minutes each. At the end of the second 45-minute session, she prescribed Zoloft to me, right? Which is an antidepressant. After I took the antidepressant for 2 weeks and realized that, excuse me, nothing in my life changed, it occurred to me that this woman was giving me something to suppress my sadness. She didn't listen to any of my stories. She didn't lend me any advice. She just medicated me. So what does this mean? This must mean that she expects my life to not get any easier. And she expects that if she gives me a drug, my hard life could seem less hard. And at that point, I decided I was not going to take her Zoloft because I was strong enough to repress my sadness myself without the drugs, because that's what she wanted me to do. She wanted me to repress my feelings. She wanted my sadness to disappear somehow in my mind with a drug, when I could just make my sadness disappear on my own. So that's what I chose to do. Y'all get what I'm saying here? Like, I was gonna just do happy. I wasn't gonna wait for happiness to happen because it wasn't necessarily going to happen, and my sadness wasn't going to go away. So medicating my sadness, what is that? What is that? My sadness is gonna be here. I have to live with it, so why focus on it? You follow what I'm saying? So I just suppress my sadness. I really do. I do have depression in my life. I do have sadness in my life, and there are times when, like, especially like on a bad wig day, like I'm just so frustrated by it, but I quickly notice when I'm falling into depression, and I choose not to be there. I choose not to hang out there in that depressive state. Instead, I'm just gonna do happiness. So instead of doing all that, I just decide, you know, I'm gonna put on a nice shirt, put on some lipstick, make sure that my hair looks as nice as possible, or my makeup looks just right, and I'm just gonna do happiness. Fuck the fact that I'm not feeling myself today or feeling anything. I'm just gonna do happiness, and somehow happiness just happens after that. Life is way better when you just take it by the horn and drive instead of letting it drive you. Yeah, there's all kind of sad shit that could happen in life. I could wallow in the sadness, wallow in the pity. You know, I could have done that throughout my life, but I don't think I would have been in the place I am right now. I don't think I would have met a wonderful man who sees me as a person who's unbothered. I mean, I know he knows I'm bothered from time to time, but he doesn't know just how deep my sadness can run, because I don't even want to go down that alley. So I don't go, and I don't recommend anybody else to go there either. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm just saying that all that, you know, you guys pretty much can control the way that you deal with your sadness. And I'm sorry that woman feels like I don't focus enough on my sadness, but I do that on purpose, and that's just my way of dealing with life. So anyway, I hope that made some sense to you guys, and if you have your own opinions on the way you deal with your sadness and your depression or your hair loss or whatever, please tell me in the comments, and I'll be glad to hash it out with any one of you guys. So anyway, you guys take good care, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace!